right, Mr. Metcalf, another day, another prospect. Today, we're talking about one guy that I think we're both in love with. We want people to be buzzing about a little bit more. Today, we're going to talk about London Jemison, going to Alabama, freshman forward. Team website has him at 6'8", 205. He was ranked 33rd in the country as a high school basketball prospect. Donald's All-American. A lot of intriguing things when you look at London. This has been a name I've kind of asked around about, and you get a lot of smirks and smiles. And yep, this could be a sleeper. This could be one that really gets cooking early on and surprises folks. So give us the pitch. Why did you watch the film and get really intrigued with London Jemison?
Shooter at 6'8".
Shooter in the house.
The guy's an absolute sniper from outside. High volume, good efficiency, versatile shot selection, legit NBA range, and he's huge. And he's headed to Alabama. And when we talk about perfect fits, like match made in heaven, I think about Jemison and Alabama's offense, where it's you're at the rim, you're shooting from three, and that's the only areas where Jemison really lives. Not looking forward to all the nitpicking about his lack of an in-between game, because no one who ever goes to Alabama ever has that. That's okay, because if you're going to be 6'7", 6'8", and shoot at the volume that he does with the efficiency that he does from outside, with some intriguing defensive upside that I'm sure we'll get to, I don't really care if you can't hit a mid-range pull-up.
Completely agree. I think this is one of those, they had Darian Reed last year, who's a big-time forward prospect. Yeah. He's now going to be at Oklahoma this year. Still one of those names that very high on my list. But I think this is a much smoother, perfect fit. We talk about this year's class. There's a lot of incoming freshmen or transfers that have really ended up in perfect spots. And when you watch London on tape, you evaluate the film, you see this could be a just dream fit with there's tempo, their way to push and create, attack, have good talented guards and LeBaron Philon. Then you get Jemison on the perimeter to just bombs away with his three-point shooting. It's a beautiful shot, Metcalf. It's short, it's sweet, it's consistent. That's the best part about it is I think you just always are getting the consistency, and he's going to have a couple games this year where I think he's going to put up some big numbers, and it's just because he can get red hot. You have to know where he is if you're on defense at all times in the half court, because one skip pass, he doesn't need a much time to get that shot off.
Yeah, and I mean, like when we look at his numbers with Expressions Elite, his AAU team, and obviously his most common play type was spotting up, and he ranked in the 84th percentile. But more importantly on that is I love the 37.3% from three in those situations, but he also shot 57.9% on twos. So that tells me that even when he gets run off the line, now it wasn't major volume, but when he gets run off the line, he's fine stepping in or attacking the rim. Like his possession isn't done. Like when defenders close out long on him and try and run him off the line, which they're going to do because he's going to force them, he's not like dead in the water. He's able to keep his dribble alive. He's able to attack downhill. There's some intriguing connecting passing stuff with him too as that off-ball guy. So we always talk about being an elite shooter rocks, but you have to be able to do something else. When you get run off your spot, what are you doing? Are you picking up your dribble and getting rid of it, or chucking up some bad contested shot? If so, you need some time. I don't have that feeling with Jemison.
It's one of those things where, some fans might hear and be like, okay, so he's a good shooter. What else? Well, I think a lot of times evaluating, that's when we find something else with their game that gets us intrigued, where we're like, this isn't just a one-trick pony. There's other things in this guy's talent, this guy's on-floor display we get excited about. And for me personally, it was the off-ball awareness. It's just his ability to stay active on the court. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to stay, alert and try to find a way to find an opening to backdoor cuts. I think he's just a really smart player on that side of the ball. Is that something that stood out to you?
Yeah, and he's super active. You can put him in motion. You can run him off DHOs. You can spot him up in the corner. Whatever you want to do, you can have him cut backdoor. Like whatever you want to do with him off ball, I think he's capable of. And I think he's going to really thrive in that Alabama offense, playing off of Philon and Holloway and letting them attack downhill and use their speed and strength and playmaking to set him up for easy looks. either at the rim or from three. But if you need him to create something on his own out of the pick and roll or isolation, that's where I think it gets a little more dicey, just because the handle's not quite there yet. And that's okay. Because being an on ball guy in college is tough. In the NBA is near impossible. And every team needs these off ball guys. So the handle definitely has to improve. But for now, it does kind of put a cap on what on his draft stock, like when we talk about him.
Yeah, would that be the biggest area for you? Like, is that the biggest improvement thing you need to see, or the one thing that's getting you from kind of buying all in? I guess is it just like, hey, can you showcase the handle early on that there's a little bit more that we can start to work with?
And I definitely think it's his biggest weakness, but I'm not sure it's like his most necessary improvement area, if that makes sense. Like I'm encouraged by the defense. I think it's trending in the right direction, but it also needs to get a lot more consistent. He needs to trust his feet. He needs to be able to slide, and too frequently he's abandoning his footwork and crossing his feet, turning to chase and abandoning those defensive fundamentals that when he commits to them and trusts them, he's really good.
All right, I completely agree, Metcalf. I think that's going to be another end of this episode, another segment of 30 and 30. So London Jemison is going to be a fun one, folks. I would keep an eye on him. A lot of intrigue, a lot of buzz. This could be a name that generates some heat right away. For myself, Tyler Rucker, and for Tyler Metcalf, make sure you're checking the No Ceilings NBA YouTube channel every day until college basketball. We're going to have a new prospect. We're breaking down highlights, all that fun stuff. So you guys take care.